This summary is compiled by dispatch logs, audio transcripts, first responder statements, and official incident reports. All timestamps are verified. Certain elements remain unexplained. At 2:14 a.m. on a Sunday in a rural Missouri County, dispatch received a 911 call of a 39-year-old man living alone on a dead-end gravel road. The call lasted 21 seconds. The transcript is simple. Dispatch 911, what's your emergency? Caller, someone's in my house. Dispatch, are they inside now? Caller, they're upstairs. Dispatch, can you get out safely? Caller, I'm trying. The call ended abruptly. Deputies were sent immediately. The drive to his property took 12 minutes. When they arrived, the house was dark. The front door was locked. No signs of forced entry, no signs of struggle. They searched the entire house. No intruder, no movement, no damage, nothing missing. But here's where the case turns. The man who made the 911 call wasn't home. His truck was gone, his wallet was gone, his phone was gone. Deputies assumed he fled the house before they arrived. At 3:02 a.m. they found his truck a mile down the road pulled into the shoulder. The driver's door open, headlights still on. No signs of him. They traced his phone. It pinged once at 3:11 a.m. then it went offline. The same location of that ping was the same gravel road just 400 yards from where his truck was found. The deputy searched until sunrise. Nothing. At 9:47 a.m. dispatch reviewed the 911 audio again to prepare for official report. That's when they noticed something that hadn't stood out during the live call. In the background, faint but clear, was the sound of footsteps. Not running, not panic, just slow, steady steps moving across a wooden floor. The caller had said the person was upstairs, but the footsteps that were on the recording was on the same level as him. Investigators returned to the house. They checked the floors, they checked the stairs, they checked the attic, they checked the crawl space. No footprints, no dust disturbed, no signs anyone had been inside. But the strangest details came from the phone company. The 911 call was placed at 2:14 a.m. The audio file was time-stamped at 2:14 a.m. The dispatch log showed 2:14 a.m. But the tower routine data, the invisible trail everyone call leaves, showed something else. The call originated at 2:27 a.m., 13 minutes after deputies were already on the road. Meaning the call was logged before it was made. Meaning the timeline didn't match the recording. Meaning the man reported an intruder after he was already gone. His phone was never recovered. His truck was processed and released. No fingerprints except his. No forced entry. No signs of break-in. No signs of a struggle. The man had never been found. The case remains open. In the days following the disappearance, investigators pulled every 911 call made within a 5-mile radius of the man's house that previous month. They were looking for patterns, break-ins, prowlers, suspicious vehicle, anything that could explain why he believed someone was in his house. They found nothing, but they did find something else. A neighbor who lived a half a mile down the gravel road reported for 3 nights before the incident he had seen headlights moving slowly past his property between 9:45 and 2:10 a.m. Not fast, not stopping, just rolling by at a crawl. He assumed it was someone lost. When deputies asked if he recognized the vehicle, he said no, but he remembered one detail clearly. The headlights never pointed toward the road. They stayed angled slightly toward the ditch like the driver was watching the tree line instead of the path ahead. Investigators logged the statement. 2 days later, the man's sister came forward with something she hadn't mentioned earlier. She said her brother had called her the night before he disappeared. Not scared, not panicked, just unsettled. He told her he kept hearing floorboards creaking upstairs even though he never used the second floor. He said it sounded like someone walking from one end to the hallway to the other. She asked if he checked. He said no, nothing was there. But then he said something that stuck with her. It stops when I get to the top step. She thought he was joking. He didn't laugh. Investigators returned to the house and tested the floorboards themselves. The upstairs hallway creaked even the slightest pressure, loud, distinct, impossible to miss. But the dust on the floor was undisturbed. No footprints, no drag marks, no signs of movement. The official reports note that the cracking heard on the 911 recording did not match the acoustics of the upstairs hallway. It matched the living room floor where the caller had been standing, meaning the footprints was not above him, they were in the room with him. The final entry in the case file states, caller last known location determined to be inside the residence at the time of 911 call. Subsequently, disappearance occurred within a 12-minute window. No evidence of forced entry or exit. No suspects identified. The case remained open. Thank you for listening to another episode of One Voice Mini Stories.